Hi, this is Bruce Hart of the Hart Foundation.
Hi, this is David Worth, Director of Photography on Bloodsport and Director of Kickboxer.
Hi, my name is Frank Dukes. Some of you might recognize my name from the movie Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme portrays me in the movie.
Hi, folks. This is Grandmaster Soto, 8-time World Committed Champion.
Hi, this is Master Todd Summers from White Tiger Martial Arts in Salem, Indiana.
This is Mohamed Kissi, alias Tong Po, in the movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is Paul Herzog, composer of the music from Bloodsport and Kickboxer.
Hi, this is Tony Luke Jr., a.k.a. Joey the Nail Nardone.
This is Mike Riccioni, producer of Bloodsport 2.
Hello, this is Haskell Von Anderson III. I was Winston Taylor in the movie Kickboxer. You're listening to Justin Ray Harvey. Justin Ray Harvey's life is a different culture. It's a different world. You better come to terms with that, or you won't last a heart.
This is Benjamin Raven Presley, author of the exciting fantasy series Raven Quest. When I'm not busy fighting Death Furies and Terrazine, I listen to the Justin Harvey Show.
Welcome to the Justin Harvey Show, the one who is not afraid to use his mind to inspire. Bloodsport expert, Frank Dukes historian, the myth, the legend. Get ready. Here's Justin Harvey.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are pre-recording this show, and we can take as long as you need, Raven, and I'd like to say welcome back to J. Ray Radio. So
it's my pleasure to be back, J. Ray. Thanks for having me back on. I appreciate it. Last time we were supposed to get together, I had some issues come up, and I couldn't be on the show, so I'm awful happy to be able to get back on here today.
Oh, absolutely, and I got to tell you, my little show, Raven, if I can share some personal thoughts with you real quick before we get to everything. My little show has become viral not only on radio but also on YouTube because I have interviewed guys like David Worth and I've talked to Haskell, Von Anderson III from Kickboxer. Let's see, Mohamed Kissi, Tom Poe from Kickboxer. I mean, I never would have dreamed that my show would be taking off like this, and I've got some huge guests for 2014 already. So
I always had faith in you, J. Ray, as I've expressed to you in the past. I had no doubt that your show would get big, and it's going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. You just got to stay focused on your dreams and your goals, and put energy into it, and it will happen, just like you're seeing right now. You're starting to take off, so I'm proud of you. Good job.
Oh, absolutely, and I tell you what, Raven, you and Black Hawk, inspired me and kept pushing me to do this. So I'm just very thrilled. I mean, it's amazing. So.
Well, I know I speak for Black Hawk when I say that we both knew that you could do it, and we feel like you can even get bigger. And there's really no limit to what you can do with your show.
Oh, absolutely, and I know I shared bits and pieces of this with you yesterday, but I wanted to let my audience know a little bit about this as well. I'm very excited about this because I heard from Black Hawk a few days ago on Facebook when you and Black Hawk come to meet me, and I'm hoping it's in 2014, he said that he's going to hold a ceremony for me and choose my warrior name, so that's going to be awesome. So.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you did tell me that. I'm glad to hear that. It'll be a special occasion, whenever you get a warrior name like that. It's a pretty big deal, So, and if he says he's going to do that, he will do that.
Yeah.
You can count on it.
And my family is very, very thrilled and proud about that as well, because as soon as I got that message from Black Hawk, I ran in there and told my folks about it. I was like, you know, I'm on a new path, I'm on a new journey, and this is what's going to happen, and yeah, so.
Good, man. I'm really glad to hear it. You know, I know he thinks the world of you, and like I do, and I'm just happy about the whole thing. I'm very glad for you.
And the way I want to start this tonight, Raven, is I wanted to let my audience know that you were supposed to audition for The Voice, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now working on a video.
Uh-huh.
I'm now working on a video to present to them, and I'll keep you posted and let you know what happens. I really never heard of the TV show before, but you know, my wife.
Neither have I.
Yeah. Well, you know, my buddy Chris, partner in Six String Revolver, he really encouraged me to try it out, and my wife Diane really tried to encourage me to do it, and so I've been waiting and waiting, and never really being motivated to do it, and finally I decided to go for it, and we'll see what happens. Oh. But if I get on there, J. Ray, you know, try to vote for me.
oh yeah, definitely. There's no try to it. I will vote for you. So.
Okay. I'm glad. I need all the votes I can get, you know. Some of those people are really talented, and so we'll see what happens.
Well, you are also talented, too. I mean, I'll give you a good example. You didn't think that your acoustic stuff would do any good, and hell, it's just taken off. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. I really thought my acoustic music was, you know, when I was a teenager, was meant to pick up girls in the neighborhood. I never really thought it would do anything, and now all of a sudden, people are requesting it all over the place, and I'm getting concerts and things, me just by myself with my acoustic guitar, and occasionally with me and Blackhawk together. But it's gotten quite big, and I'm really surprised about the whole thing, really. In fact, I'm playing a New Year's Eve show tomorrow, and so just me and my guitar playing a New Year's Eve show.
and don't drink and drive, folks.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, because that time is the worst time of year for people to actually go and do that, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, when you called, I was working on a song. I'm gonna do a remake of a song that everybody knows. It's called "I'm Sexy and I Know It." But I'm gonna do it on the acoustic guitar, you know. Actually, I'm gonna merge two songs together. I'm gonna merge "I'm Too Sexy." You remember that old 1980s song, "I'm Too Sexy" with Catwalk and Runway? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna merge that song in with "I'm Sexy and I Know It," all on the acoustic guitar.
You know, it'd be hilarious, Raven, if you would dress up like Al Borland from Home Improvement and do a video of that.
That would be pretty funny. I gotta work out the arrangement. I haven't got the arrangement down exactly yet, but I would like to be able to have it down for tomorrow and play that. So that's going to be pretty fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you have any CDs that you're working on, or that's almost finished, or what's going on with that?
I've been writing music for the new acoustic CD that I'm putting together. I've pretty much got the songs together now. I'm just a matter of if I get into the recording studio and putting it out. But my first acoustic CD is still selling like hotcakes, and I can barely keep them in print, which is always nice. So they're still going. So it's time to get in and do another one.
Oh, absolutely. And have you ever thought of doing it this way, too? Might make it easier on you, and you could make even more moolah, so to speak. Have you ever thought about getting your tracks on iTunes?
Yeah, you know, I really am going to work on doing that this year. I'm going to work on putting my own unique label together for my music. I have been neglecting to do that. And, you know, I used to own a record label back in the 90s, and so I'm familiar with that. But nowadays, the technology is different. The marketing channels are different as far as the internet and everything. So I'm having to relearn how to do all of that. as far as marketing my music. And to be honest with you, I haven't had the drive until now to really push my music because I really kind of retired from it, other than doing stuff with my buddy Chris, to focus just on my martial arts and things. And but since everybody is really asking for it and it's taken off, I found a desire to get back out and do it again. So on this new CD, expect to see a label, my own label, carrying my music with the label website and all of the MP3s and the Amazons and CD Babies and all that you can get music from.
Yeah, because from what I have found, Raven, the more you can expand your music in different areas and different places, the better off you're going to be. Because that's why I've started to do not only voice interviews, but video interviews as well.
Right. Well, you're absolutely right, and I'm an old guy, so it's taken me a little while to get used to a lot of this internet marketing type of thing. It's just not something I was used to do when I was at it. So, I'm getting used to it, and I'm getting better at it. In fact, even my martial arts videos, I'm putting up a martial arts store where people can learn martial arts and stuff online. I've got that in the works now, and my videos are actually very inexpensive compared to other people's videos. So,
wow, amazing, absolutely amazing. So, what is your expectations, and also, what is your New Year's resolution for 2014?
I never make a New Year's resolution, J. Ray. I have what I call the power list, and my power list is something I learned from Sensei Blackhawk. It's 10 things that I want to accomplish in the short term, and things that I can actually get done this year, or it might even take longer than that. Like, for example, Blackhawk put when he was a young boy to become the world champion in kickboxing and fighting. And it took him till he was in his 40s to accomplish that goal. So you got to be careful what you put down on your list. But I put down my 10 things, and so I don't really call it a New Year's resolution because it would just be one of the 10 things on my list. So it's ongoing.
Yeah, just do the best that you can, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole secret to it. If you get Blackhawk's book, How to Be a Champion at Life, you can learn about the technique. But I can give you a brief summary of it. You take the 10 things that you want to accomplish in your life, and you write those down, and you put that in your pocket. I like to put it in my left pocket. Okay, those are my 10 main things. Then what I'll do daily is I will take a list out, another piece of paper out, and I will write down exactly what I'm going to do today to help me accomplish those goals. So I got 10 items, so I may pick 1 or 2 or 3 or just stick with 1 item on my list, and then I will accomplish something throughout the day. It may be a list of things to get done to make one of my goals happen. I will pull that out every hour out of my pocket, and I will check that, and I make sure that I know what I got to do, and I will check off my list what I got to do. Then every 2 to 3 hours, I will pull out my main list of 10 top goals, my power list, and read them. So I'm reading it constantly all day long. The things I need to accomplish today to help me get closer to one or more of those goals throughout the day. And that's my routine. So every day I'm checking, okay, I got to do this, 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 and this, and that's going to help me accomplish this goal on my power list. So that's what I do every day, and to accomplish these goals. And actually, that's a great way to achieve a New Year's resolution if you do have a New Year's resolution.
Oh yeah, and I just wanted to throw this out there. You know how a lot of people do good deeds on Christmas and this and that. That's great and all, but really, in reality, you should be doing good deeds every day, not just one day a year. You know?
Oh, yes, certainly. I mean, service is a fantastic thing to do, and helps you grow in character. And service is one of the biggest things you can achieve in your life. As a father, it's certainly important to me to be in service to my children and my family, and as a husband, in service to my wife. But ultimately, we're on this journey by ourselves, and we have to determine and to decide what that journey is all about. And that takes such a long time for people to accomplish, to really, really know yourself inside and out with never questioning yourself. It takes a very, very long time to achieve those things I've discovered. And not only that, but people will tend to find mentors and people to model after. And those mentors, and when we discover that they're actually human beings, they tend to let us down, and then we get discouraged on our path, and we don't, we're not sure exactly where to go. So discovering who you are is so vitally important, and part of that process is service to others, being able to help when you need help. At the same time, I gotta say that, one thing I've learned is to help when someone asks for help. I was at the gym the other day, and I saw this young kid. He was doing some pull downs for his back, and he was fast and sloppy and just doing everything incorrect, totally wrong. And he wasn't doing anything but working, his cardio maybe. So I go over to him and say, "Hey, look, buddy, let me give you some advice. Slow down, do slower motions, squeeze your hand." And I was giving him all the steps that he should do. He just looked at me and rolled his eyes and went right back to doing the ridiculous stuff that he was doing. So, people want help. People want your help when they ask for it. So what I try to do is if someone asks me for my help, then I will do everything I can to make that happen. If they don't ask me, then I try to leave them alone, because it's their journey, and they need to discover whatever they need to discover. So that's kind of the principle I follow. I take that from my sensei, Blackhawk Walters, who taught me that, and so I follow that pretty religiously. If someone asks me for help, and I'm there, and I'll do everything I can to help them. If they don't ask me for help, then I'm going to try my best to stay out of it unless I know that they can't. Now that changes when it's a weaker individual, because part of the code of our martial arts is to help people who are weaker and not capable of doing things for themselves. So if there was somebody beating up a small person or a woman or a child or something like that,
or somebody that's disabled,
or someone that's disabled, I'm going to be the first one in, jumping in and kicking some butt. Okay, but if it's somebody, who, I don't know, just a random issue, their car breaks down or whatever, I will help them if they ask me to help them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. It's like, a door-to-door religious person coming door to door, and they're trying to push their religion on you. Well, you didn't ask for their opinion. You didn't ask for their advice, and you didn't ask for them to save you. And what do? Oh gosh, hide! They're at the door, hide! Or you slam the door in their face, or you're not looking. So if you're not looking, you're not. Their message is lost on you 99% of the time.
Exactly. That's like I'm on a journey. I may not know my exact path, but I know that I'm headed in the right direction.
Yeah, and you got to trust that, Jerry. It's like riding in a vehicle at night. It's pitch black at night, and all you have is the headlights in front of you. You have to trust that the road's ahead of you.
Yeah. Exactly, Raven. I mean, because I believe that, like, I didn't meet you by accident. It was meant to be. So it's part of the journey.
Things happen for a reason. That's right. It's part of the journey. And you never know where it's going to take you. You just got to trust that it's going to happen. And I feel like there is really no bad or good event in your life.
Exactly, because I got to tell you, the other day, Muhammad Kisi said, "I just love your work," and I about fell out of my seat. I mean, wow. So, yeah, I mean, with the work that I've been doing, it has definitely, paid off. And I've actually had people say, you should get paid to do what you do. I said, well, my payment is to talk to guys like Raven Cain and Black Hawk Walters and Muhammad Kisi and David Worth. I mean, to me, that's my payment.
Yeah. Well, it is a good thing, and you're doing something that makes you happy, and that's the main thing in life, to be happy, and that's what your path really is about. Is about your happiness, what makes you happy, and those are things you have to discover along the way, I think.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Most of us don't know.
And I do have to say, Raven, I do miss your show, Keeping It Real, folks, because actually Raven told me when he first started Keeping It Real that I inspired him to do that.
That is a true statement. And I thought about getting back into it, but honestly, with my music and my martial arts, my own personal training and private lessons and my family and all, I really don't have time to do it. That's the main reason why I stopped it, because I just didn't have time with everything that I've got on my plate going on. Currently, working on new music for my CD, working on, the Kaji Kibo, which is the martial art me and Black Hawk founded together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm promoting a new video series. Kaji Kibo is our special, unique way of doing things. It's not a style. It's just how we teach people. Black Hawk always says we don't teach a style, we teach people. So it's individual to everybody. So I can't really put that on a video and say, here's Kaji Kibo, because no, it's not like that, because my Kaji Kibo is going to be different than your Kaji Kibo, and Black Hawk's Kaji Kibo is different. So everybody has an individual style inside the Kaji Kibo. It's not like a banner, like, this is a banner system and you go off and do your own thing. That's not it either. It's definitely a very specific training methodology, but it helps you discover who you are, and that's the purpose of it. So I can't put that on video, and I can't put that out in the universe because, it has to be different for everybody. So what I've done over the years, I've got a collection of martial arts stuff on video.
Mm-hmm.
Just a collection of stuff. And I'm basically just call it Shaolin Kempo Jiu-Jitsu because that's kind of what it is. It's got Jiu-Jitsu in it, it's got Kempo in it, it's got the Shaolin arts in it, it's got China in it, it's got Chi Kung Do in it, it's got all these elements in it. So just call it Raven Hawk's Shaolin Kempo Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm putting that on, I've got it all on video, I've got it organized so people can actually achieve rank in that style, and they can train martial arts with me from home. Now, if they want to learn Kaji Kibo, that's going to be something totally different. They absolutely have to train with me in person. But for the Raven Hawk's Shaolin Kempo Jiu-Jitsu, they can earn rank. All the way up to brown belt, and then they have to test for the black belt in person.
Yeah, one thing that I find unsettling about martial arts these days is everybody's concerned about getting a black belt or getting this or being a Hanshi, being a Shihon, being a Soki. I mean, people just so concerned with titles, to me it's being behind the martial arts.
Yeah, well, that's the way modern Americans and modern people are in society. They like things with names, and they like things compartmentalized, systemized, and put into order. Like for example, okay, I wake up at 8 a.m., I go to work from 8 to 5. At 12 o'clock, I have to eat lunch, and at 3:45 is a lunch break, and at 5 o'clock I get off, I go home, and I make dinner. And these are all systemized, compartmentalized things that people do every day. And this is the way they start. Okay, my favorite TV show is on at 8 o'clock on Thursday, and then the football game is on Sunday. And then, see, it's all systemized and programmed into these compartments. Well, that's not the way the eternal Tao or the eternal force is in life. There is no name. There is no nothing. It's like my daughter was asking me yesterday. She said, "Do you think my cat knows that she's a pet?" She doesn't know she's a pet. In fact, she doesn't even know she's a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no name. She knows no name. She has no. She is just one with the eternal Tao, or the eternal force, life force. So people forget these things, and they get caught up in history and traditions and titles and names and systems and styles and all of this stuff. And that's what we recognize. So it's all silly Mickey Mouse BS that doesn't mean anything. Your title is Hanshi doesn't mean crap to me or to my cat. Your title is Grandmaster don't mean nothing. What can you do? What can you do? That's what means something. What can you do?
And I do know some great Grandmasters and Hanshis and Shihans, and I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying that with our society, people are going way overboard with the titles.
Oh, I know, and people try to buy their ranks, and they try to buy the piece of paper, and that piece of paper doesn't mean anything. What can you actually do? Can you actually hold your own? And you can say all you want to. And so many black belt masters and all this always says, I've been in this street fight and that street fight. Okay, well, no one has seen any of them, and it's your word against every single black belt I've ever talked to. I've been in so many fights. I've done this and they can't prove none of it. And it's a bunch of, for the most part, a bunch of hokey because it's ego. So they need to let go of that ego and just be. Just be like the cat is just the cat. It didn't even know it's a cat. It just is,
But at the same token, I myself, even though I'm a disabled individual, I've been in the ring twice, and I have video footage to prove that.
I know, exactly. I've seen it. Well, but that's the way the ego works. People, they want rank, and they want certificates, and they want black belts, and they want titles because that feeds their need it feeds their ego,
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest thing in the world, and I don't think anybody really can let go of their ego altogether, but that's the goal, is to try to just be in your complete isness. You know what I mean? It's, can you exist as a human being just as a human being? And can you express yourself just as a human being, just as you are, And
oh, absolutely.
So, can you be honest with yourself? And boy, is that hard to do, because
yeah, it is, but I think that's why a lot of people respect me, because I'm that type of person, Raven. So.
Yeah, and it's difficult, Jerry, for people to be that way because they want to have their moment of fame, their 15 minutes of fame. They want to be considered great. They want to be considered one of the best. They want to be looked at as special. Everybody wants to be looked at as special. But the thing is that so many people forget that they are already special.
Mm-hmm.
In the reality of it, in the real universe, there is no ugly, and there is no pretty, and there is no good, and there is no bad. It just is what it is. It's like the river flowing, man. The river flows just because it flows. It doesn't care where it's going. It just is what it is. So
absolutely,
that's what you are.
Exactly, and what tears me up, Raven, is like I see people that are disabled like myself or have, a similar disability, and they'll use it as an excuse or crutch or say, I can't do this because of my disability, and my simple line is bullshit. You can do anything you set your mind to. Anything.
Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. And the way that we do our power list, that's how you can get things done and accomplish things. Those type of things, in a way, have to become systemized because, you have to A to get to B to accomplish your goals in life. So it's almost a paradox, letting go of your ego and being you and your unique business, and and accomplishing things that your ego wants to accomplish, because those things like a new car, well, that's not, say you want a Camaro, okay, you want a Camaro, you want a Trans Am, well, that may be an ego, that may be an ego thing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't eliminate your ego totally, that's what drives us to be successful, so it's a paradox, and I've created a scale that, that's, I call it the paradox continuum, and it basically means, your desire is at the low end of the scale, your desire for something. Yeah. And in the middle of the scale is that suffering that you get for that desire because you haven't gotten it. And then there's all the way at the top of the scale is just allowing, the natural or the eternal Tao or the force, if you will, to do what it does, to be authentically real. So, and we all fall in between in this scale somewhere. You're either desiring to have something, you're trying to make it happen, you try to make it happen until you fail, and then you get into anger, and then from anger you get into all these things, the stuff. So it's a process, in the scale. So we all fall in between somewhere.
But the way I believe, Raven, it's better to fail than not have tried at all.
Well, this is true. Well, I mean, that's the thing, and that's where it becomes a paradox, what I call it a paradox continuum, because you've got to have the desire to move forward to do what you want to do. So how do you do that and still just allow it to be what it's going to be? It's that paradox that makes it so difficult for people to truly understand who they are and how to accomplish what they really want to accomplish with their ego. So it becomes very difficult.
Absolutely.
So you see why people get so confused. You see why people get so confused, because we are trapped in this paradox of desire and allowing. And somehow we've got to meet those where we blend our desire, but yet still let allowing while we're still trying. It's very complex,
Absolutely. And it's like me. Without my computer, I would be lost. But what I've been doing here lately is I've been logging on, but not as much. I'm actually cutting back because I told you that, eventually I would love to become a sage warrior, and I'm just doing things to kind of make that path, happen as well. So.
Right. I mean, it's just a matter of, discovering yourself and knowing yourself, being authentically you. And I struggled with that for such a long time, Jerry, to become authentically me. As a matter of fact, I was stuck in this paradox for so long because, let's take my martial arts, for example. I've had so many different names for my martial arts because I just couldn't name it because, like it says in the Tao, it says, the Tao that can be named is not the Tao, the true Tao. This is the same thing, the concept I had. I couldn't come up with a name because I continue to evolve and change all the time, as we do as human beings every time we open our eyes. We're changing constantly. It's always a different moment. So I had such a difficult time trying to name exactly what I do. And I studied with so many different people because I always thought there was something more, that someone else could show me even more, that I didn't know what I needed to know. I didn't have myself completely together. And again, that's ego, and that's lack of confidence. But a lack of confidence is still ego, because you lack the understanding of yourself, and you want to know it. So it's that ego that's driving you. So those things, until I really discovered who I was, it was difficult for me to put a title on anything that I wanted to do, because I always questioned whether or not it was good enough. Now I don't question. I have no question or doubt about what I'm doing, but there was a time that was such a big thing. A part of my life is trying to discover who I was as a martial artist and as a person. And so my stuff just kept changing and changing and changing and changing, because I couldn't put a title on it, because it was, to me, it was it couldn't be named, if that makes any sense at all.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
So at one time, I was calling it Cain, my last name, Cain Rue, like Hunchy Frank Dukes does, is Dukes Rue, and all these other guys sometimes do. And then, I would just kept changing, and I would get with people that would be, what I thought was better than me, and I wanted to learn from them, and that was a great experience because I was able to put together a lot of stuff, but I still didn't know who I was until I went on these kind of soul-searching kind of quests that what Blackhawk would call vision quests to discover who you really are. Now I'm totally complete within myself and I don't need another teacher. I don't need to be under anybody particular. I don't need to be with another system or another style. I don't need any of that stuff because I'm complete within myself. But it took a very long time, 30-some years, 36 years in the martial arts to figure all that out for myself,
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to give you a good example, Raven. Like, a lot of kids made fun of me because I watched Bloodsport and Kickboxer all my life and all this stuff when kids were playing and running and doing the things that they do and all this other stuff. But, I'm the one with the last laugh because look at where I'm at today, So.
Well, exactly. And, you are on your own journey and they're on theirs. And now, J. Ray, and probably you too, I don't concern myself with other people and other styles and other martial artists or even other musicians or anything. I just do what I'm going to do, and they can do whatever they want to do. It doesn't bother me at all, and that's just the way I feel nowadays. So,
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, wanted to mention too that not only does Raven do great music, but he also written a song about me, and I'm going to make sure that it's played in the broadcast. It's called "You Try to Live."
Good. So. Good. Yes, actually, me and my very close friend Chris Richardson wrote that song for you, and we were honored to do it, and I still listen to that song quite often.
I do daily, actually, daily.
Yeah, appreciate that. I like it a lot. It doesn't sound anything like my acoustic music, but but I definitely like the song. It's really, really one of my favorites. And in that song, it talks about letting go of the ego and things like that. So you see, I've been on this path for a long time. This letting go of your ego and things. And I even put it in the song that we wrote for you.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass song. I mean, it always brings me up. I mean, it just does. And and I some days I'm so happy, Raven, with the circle that I'm in of friends and stuff. I actually have to physically pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming.
That's great, man. Well, life should be like that, man. It should be happy all the time. I mean, obviously you can't be happy all the time, but your goal should be happiness. Somebody asked the Dalai Lama what the meaning of life was, and he replied, happiness. And that's so true, man.
And I know you'll like this one, Raven. Someone has been attacking me again. A certain radio show has been attacking me again after a year of putting things to rest. And someone mentioned to me on Facebook, they said, "J. Ray, why are they attacking you again?" And my simple response was, ratings. They're looking for ratings. So.
Yeah, when people do things like that, sometimes, J. Ray, you have to, and just sometimes you have to say, all right, that's it. Here's the line in the sand, and we can fight, or you can back out. Sometimes you have to do that. But other times, when it's things like that, unless it's ruining your reputation or whatever, it's almost not worth, wasting your time on, and someone's bashing you or putting you down. There's this martial arts guy that claims to be a big 10th degree black belt and all that. Of course, he's younger than I am. But somebody was bashing him on the internet, and boy, he went berserk on him, and he started calling him out and challenging them and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just not necessary, you know. It's just not necessary unless the guy is really, really going after you. You really want to physically get involved with them. Hey, I'm not against going after somebody who deserves it and standing up for your rights and drawing the line in the sand. But when it's just words.
Exactly. And they don't even believe that I'm disabled, and I'm like, really? Honestly? I didn't notice.
I wouldn't even turn the show on again. I would just ignore them totally. Unless it starts affecting you in any kind of way, I just leave it alone. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I haven't listened to their show since last year. They have been just, I found out from a source, they have been trashing me on some sort of martial arts / forum or some stuff.
Oh man, I definitely wouldn't worry about that, because those martial arts forums, man, they're jokes. They're just a waste of time. They're a bunch of keyboard warriors out there who don't have anything better to do. If they had something better to do, they would be doing what me and Blackhawk do. They'd be getting up and training every day. They would be working out, working on themselves, making themselves better. Not worry about them stupid forums and people would say this, that, and the other. Who cares? Those people who aren't out there actually doing things.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing stuff. You're making things happen for yourself. And focus your energy on that. I would say, and forget those guys they obviously have enough time to sit behind a keyboard and bash you instead of working on themselves and making themselves better at what they do. My advice to you and anybody else, not that you were even asking for my advice, here I am violating my own rules, but it's to focus on you getting better and on your lists and your resolutions and your power lists and your things, and let the little people do whatever they want to do.
Absolutely, Raven. And on the record, ladies and gentlemen, Raven has known me for quite a few years now, and Raven knows that I will not physically or verbally hurt someone. So.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we went down that road together with each other at one point, and I was doing things for you about that stuff. But now, as I've come into my own, and I've kind of had my different opinions about things, and my opinion now is just those people have too much time on their hands and obviously are not focusing on themselves. They're not getting better.
And that's why I told that one person, I said, it's all about ratings is all it is, because if you think about it, Raven, that was probably their biggest show was when they were trying to trash me and talking to me about it for several weeks. That was probably, I was their hot topic, so,
Yeah.
So that's probably all it was, Raven, so.
Well, I understand that. And sometimes it may be exactly what that's for,
Oh, absolutely. And one of my goals, Raven, off of that subject, but one of my goals is I really think that I would be good at acting. So I really want to try that eventually, is acting.
Well, that's a good idea. I'm sure you could get some roles.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you would break into that market, but I'm sure you could do that. I know that we're planning on doing some things with film, and not ready to talk about it too much yet, but we're planning on doing some things with film that we could probably get you involved in.
Oh, that would be great. I mean, I could probably do anything. I could be the good guy. I could be the bad guy. You could deck up my wheelchair, and I could have the bling bling and the hydraulics. So yeah, it'd be fun, So.
Awesome, man. Very good. Very good.
So,
yep.
How's the family? Family doing good and everything?
Family's just fine. They're going crazy as normal, But yeah, we're doing just fine out here. Focusing on getting better every day, and working on stuff. constantly. My wife's helping me do a lot of things as far as my music and my martial arts is concerned. Starting a class up here, a Kajikibo class here at one of the gyms. So we've been doing that twice a week, and working on a book, and working.
You're working on a book.
Together. You are?
Are you? Did you say you were working on a book?
Yes, I'm working on a book.
Wow.
And working on the new recording. So you see how busy things get, you know. So just the little things that I got my hands involved in, it takes so much of my time, you know, that I rarely have things. I don't have time to go on the martial arts forums, and I'm barely on Facebook these days. You know, I just stay so busy trying to get better at myself, you know. And that's the key to everybody's happiness and discovering themselves, is to dedicate time for themselves to learn who they are, and then put effort into making those things happen. And don't worry about everybody else. You know, worry about getting better and better and better.
Exactly.
You know, one thing that Blackhawk says to me in fighting, you know, I used to worry about, you know, if they throw this punch, I need to counter with this. If they do that, I need to counter with this. If they step here, I need to step there. Now, I don't care what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where they move or how they move. I don't care care less about what they do at all, because it's all about what I do, not about what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where our martial arts, you know, differ from what we do and everything. They have theories and concepts. You step here, you move there, you do this, and he does that, and you know, all these theories and stuff. That's all well and good, but that's like a cat knowing that it's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know that I'm a cat to be a cat. You know, I just need to be. And so I'm not concerned about what they do. I'm concerned about what I do now. And that made a world of difference in my martial arts. And anybody who ends up learning this Kaji Kibo that we've been teaching, it just opens up a whole new world when you're no longer attached to how they punch and what they punch. So many martial arts like, okay, I'm going to throw a right punch. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready to defend. Are you sure you're ready? Yes, I'm ready to defend. Okay, here I go. I'm throwing the right punch. And then they do a technique, and they dance around this guy who's standing there like a statue. That's not fighting at all, man. That's not the way it works.
Wow.
You have to be free, totally free, and free from making it too complicated and too complex. You know, like you save that for the guy who's the commentator for the boxing matches. You know, or the commentator for the MMA matches, the actual fighter. You don't need to, know how many degrees you have to move before you hit this and that and the other. You know, you just do it. They put it up. That's what it's all about. Remember, I told you, if you get to a point that you don't need anybody else, you don't need any teachers, you don't need any mentors, you don't need anybody else, because you're complete in yourself. And that's where you're getting to too eventually, I think, is that you'll be complete in yourself. You won't need anybody else like Hanchi Dukes or like me or like Blackhawk. You just won't need anybody. You may still want their advice, and you may still want to be around them, and you can still, of course, always be friends. But you'll be at a point where those answers you'll already know internally. You'll seek them from inside as opposed to seeking them from outside.
And who knows? I may teach all of you a thing or two one of these days. Who knows?
You've already taught me plenty of things. You taught me so much, I wrote a song about it.
That is true, ladies and gentlemen. That is a true statement right there. But yeah, Raven, I mean, it's amazing. I'm ready for 2014, to be honest with you, because 2013 has just been an awful year for me. So.
Well, it's all about, living in the moment, J. Ray. Try to make this moment a great moment, and then when this moment is done, finish up the next one, So just live every second you can in the moment, and then everything will be just fine. If you just make right now perfect, then that's all that matters. So that's all we really have is right now. Tomorrow, yesterday, none of those things are real. So if we make right now fantastic, then everything's fantastic, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And And like I said, my health hasn't been the best because I've been having acid reflux for 6 months now, every night, and they think it's a hiatal hernia, but I'm not sure, so I have to get like a scope procedure done here soon, and they'll look in my stomach and see what's going on. So.
Right. Well, they'll get it figured out. Just trust that everything will be fine, and like I said, you just focus on the here and now, and everything will be fine. You're nothing to worry about. Be okay. There is no good and bad. It is what's happening now. That's all.
Yeah, for some reason, maybe.
What may seem bad. Yeah. What may seem bad will end up leading to you to exactly where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
So don't fret. Don't fret. Everything will be fine.
Oh yeah, because even though I've been sick, I've been doing interviews and everything else. I mean, ain't nothing gonna stop me.
There you go.
Ain't nothing gonna stop me. So, but I mean, we can wrap this up anytime you would like, Raven. I mean, so.
Well, I do need to get over to my wife. She just came home, so I do want to get over there. I do want to mention, J. Ray, if you don't mind, that you can shop online, get my martial arts videos and my music and stuff on the website, thewaymBSA.com. thewaymBSA.com. It's the way, mind, body, spirit is what it stands for, so mbsa.com. So that'd be about it. I mean, I have my concerts listed on there. I keep everybody posted about The Voice. And when my new CD will come out, and seminar dates, teaching dates, and of course, if you want to study at home study courses will be available hopefully by the end of the week. And you'll be able to start downloading stuff.
Absolutely, and you can find Raven on Facebook as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You just facebook.com/Kajikibo MMA is the Facebook site.
Absolutely, Raven. Yep. And what would if you could say anything in the world right now to this new generation? I mean, it can be about martial arts, it can be about music, it can be about anything. What would you tell the new generation for today's youth?
Focus on getting better every day yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks and says. Work on yourself and your own family, and then everything else will fall into place. Just and like I said earlier, instead of getting on the forums and listening to what everybody has to say about you, if you're working on yourself, you're too busy to do that because you're up running, or you're riding a bike, or you're working on your radio show, or you're working on something every day to get better.
Absolutely. And my final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, here soon, thanks to Raven, I'm going to have my own personal website that's going to have some of my work on there, and even some show links and some info that you may not know about the one, the only J-Ray. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming, I would say, probably in 2014. So.
Yeah, as soon as you get the stuff to me, J-Ray, I'll start working on that, and we'll get that out there.
Oh, absolutely. And guys, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Justin Ray Harvey. And if you need to get in touch with Raven, I know how to do so. If you need, teaching lessons, whatever, I got your back. So, yeah. So, thank you for your time, Raven.
Thanks, J-Ray. I appreciate it, buddy.
And
keep doing what you're doing, and I guess we'll talk to you next time.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, hopefully I'll be seeing you in 2014, because I know I'm excited about, meeting you and Black Hawk. So.
We'll definitely try to make that happen, partner.
Oh, definitely. And I'll talk to you later, my friend.
Thank you, J-Ray. Take care.
Take care, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I approve this message.